Everyone, welcome you all. And today, this is the class 9 for core Java learners. And in this class, we will learn the exceptions that is, checked and unchecked exceptions, then how to handle by using try, catch, and finally. And we will learn about what is the keyword throw versus the keyword throws and how to use them. And then we will learn about what is a variable flag, what is a variable counter, and what is the matrix counts. So this is the course structure for today's class. Let's get started. And what we have over here is we are here. Okay, so here I have given us little detail about how to define exceptions in Java. So we can say that an exception is an event that represents an abnormal condition in the code, like dividing by zero, trying to access an array element that doesn't exist, or attempting to open a file that is missing, and etc. Like these are just three examples, but there may be many more abnormal conditions that will directly or indirectly represent an exception. So during the execution of the program, the event that disturbs the normal flow of the instructions are known as the exceptions. Like the code is there, and when you execute the code, that time if the normal flow of the instruction will get break, that event will known as the exception. And how many types of exceptions are there? There are two types of exception: checked exception and the unchecked exceptions, right? And now if you go in the detailing of both of the checked and unchecked type of exceptions, few examples, few differences I have given over here. The exceptions that are checked at compile time before runtime, right? Those are known as the checked exceptions. And the exceptions that are not checked at compile time, but they are checked during the runtime, they are known as the unchecked exceptions. For checked exceptions, we need to handle them either by try catch block or by declaring the exception in the method signature by using the keyword throw. For unchecked, we do not need to handle them explicitly, and also we do not need to declare them in the method of the signature. Few examples for checked exceptions I have given here, like IO exception, file not found exception, SQL exception. These are all comes under checked exceptions. And for the unchecked exception, we do have the example of null pointer exception, array index out of bound exception, and the arithmetic exceptions. Many more examples comes under these two kind of exceptions, but I have given some few out of them, right? And now what do we have next here is how to handle the exception. For handling the exception, we have try block, we have catch block, and this is the finally block that is totally optional, but still it is there to handle the exception. And then we can use throw and throws keywords. So what is the try block? This block will contain the code that might have an exception. And the catch block will do what? It will catch the exception and it will handle it. What the finally block will do? Irrespective of the result from try and catch block, the finally block will always get executed and it will tell if the code get executed after try and catch or exception is handled or not handled later on. So the result of this block, the finally block, will never depend on the try and catch block. So next is what? Next is the throw clause. This throw clause is like we use generally to explicitly throw an exception. And the throws clause, there is a different throw and throws. Throws clause we generally use in the method signature, in the name of the method, in the header of the method. And that is generally you can use the throws clause in a method declaration to indicate that the method might throw a checked exception. It is an alternative for the try catch. And finally, for the unchecked exception, we do not need to declare it in the method signature by using the keyword throws. But for the checked one, for the checked exception, we can use it as a throws keyword in the method signature. So what is next over here? We do have These are the syntaxes that generally we do use. Example, I have try to show with an example, like the try block will come with the curly braces, and after that catch block will come with the parenthesis and the curly braces, and then the finally block that is totally option will come after with the curly braces. In the try block, we will put the code that might throw an exception, and in the catch block, the exception will be handled and it can be traced. Then the finally block will give the final result that we put here, that is like totally optional in comparison to try and catch block. Then the throws keyword come under the method signature. You can see this is the method signature and the name of the method, and after that, just after that, there is the throws clause with the exception name, and after that the body of the method is coming over here. And then how to use throw keyword? The throw keyword will be used inside the method, and it will explicitly throw the exception. Like here I have given the condition that there is, if the age is under 18, then the throw will be, we can write it down like throw new and the arithmetic exception that you are not allowed, right? So that's how we will use the syntax for each kind of these exceptions. Then what we have next is, there are few examples like null point exception, array index out of bound exception, IO exception, illegal argument exception, arithmetic exception, input in mismatch exception, and timeout exception. These are the common examples of few exceptions. So let's get started in our Eclipse now, and let's create a project named as session 9. We can give it a name as session 9, and it's not the module not selected, and then we need to finish. Then just expand it. We do have the, oh really, okay, let me delete this one time. There might be some mistake over there. Delete, and let's refresh it, and refresh, and let's create a session one more time, Java project, and we can say session 9. Finish. Oh, source folder not getting created. What is the reason behind that? Let me check. Let me create another session as let me create Java project, and I'm creating it as session 9 9. And the module not selected. And is there anything else that we need to? I don't think so. As a root for source, create separate folder for source and class files. Okay, let me check with that. And if I'm doing this, we do have the source folder. Let me delete this one. Delete this. Okay, and we can just rename it, refactor and rename, and we simply can do 9. There might be a folder with that name already exist. Oh, really? Okay, that is the reason. Let me delete that folder first. Just wait here. Let me rename it now because I have deleted that folder from the main workspace. So where is refactor, rename, and now it should be good. Let me delete this, and okay, yeah, it is good now. So we have the source folder here. Let me create the package. We can simply, oh sorry, we can simply select it and can click on this package, and here we can give the package name, or we are going to do exception handling in this package, and just finish. Once we have this, we can create a class inside that, and we can do try, catch, finally. Create a main method and just finish. Now let's get started. For the better understanding what I want, I will create a method over here that like public static void and test, and here this is the method body. And here what I want, let me create like integer a, and I'm saying that the value for this is 15, right? Now what I want, if I will do so, and here if I will give a value as a by 0, right? So uh, any number that it cannot be divided by 0, right? In this situation, it will throw me a exception, and that exception will be the arithmetic exception. And here there is no checking. There is no checking for this kind of exception. That's why it will come under the unchecked exception. If I will run my program right now, what will happen? It will, wait a second. Let me close this one from here, and let me run my, okay. Now, what mistake we did? That I need to call this test method, because this is not the main method. That's why nothing was there in my console. So I need to call this method here in my main method. So let me call it as test, and then what we need to do? Then I will run this program. Now, if I will run this program, it will throw me an exception. You can see here in this console that the Java lag arithmetic exception, because divide by 0 is not possible. So what we need to do, at exceptional handling try catch finally dot test, right? This is showing that where is the problem, like line number 12 and line number 6. So let me make it, wait a second, here, yes. So you can see that the line number 12 here and line number 6. So these needed to be check out, because like a number cannot be divided by 0. So now if I will do here number 2 and let me run my program. So what will happen if I am running my program right now? So it is giving me the result, that this is the result over there. So that is the unchecked exception. So now let's try with some of the checked exception. The very good example for that is file input stream. If I will do, let me do it with the file input stream, and it will be, let me say, fi, an object for this file input stream, and I'm saying view, and then again file input stream. So let me take this. I have created an object for this file input stream. So if I hover over here, it will be asking me to import this file input stream first. So let's import it. And after that, if I hover over here, it is asking me to add some argument. So let me put some, let's say I'm putting let it be with the null value here. If I hover over here, so you can see file story ambiguous. So let me change this with a string value, because this is a string value. So here I am simply putting as a file, right? So now if I hover over here, you can see there are two options: add throws declaration or surround with try and catch. So let me do it with the add throw declaration, right? If I click on this, you can see file not found exception, IO exception, exception, and throwable. These are the options over there. So if I click on first one, you can see the file not found came over here with the keyword throws in the method signature, of this exception. Now let me delete this part. We are right now we are not using the throws keyword. What option we want to choose right now? Let me hover over here, and if I will do surround with try and catch. So just click on that, and what it has done, it has put it the file fi new file input stream, the object for this file input stream, it has put it in the try block. And in the catch block, it is doing what? It is at put the file not found exception, and it has given a variable name as e for that, and it is tracing the exception, e dot print stack trace. So that is the thing. Now for the time being, I am going back, not using this try catch block. I'm doing control Z. So we are back over here, right? We are back over here. So um, now if I will do, so now let's try by our own. How? What was the syntax? Syntax was try and the curly braces, and then it was catch, and then the parenthesis and the curly braces. So this is the code that might throw an exception. Let's get it from here to in this try block, and then take that catch to another line. And here in the catch, what we have to put? File not found exception. File not found exception, and we are representing it by e, and then we doing one thing, that e dot print file not found exception. Wait a second. e dot print stack trace. Wait. Okay, this is something. Okay, here it is the spelling mistake. So let me correct it. Then only it will come. That's fine, right? And now if I will take it e dot print. Now it is showing me print stack trace. So I just simply can click on that and it is good, right? So now what will happen if I will run the if I will run my code right now, what will happen? It will give me the exception. What the exception over there is. If I'm going to run it, what it will do? It will tell me what is the exception. That this file not found exception is there, and it will represent everything about it. That the file is missing, right? Now after this catch block, we do have the finally block, right? Finally block. So finally block, this index will be what? It is in the curly braces, and in the curly braces, we simply want CISO, and I'm sending a message over here that it is done. So you can see when we already handle an exception by try and catch block, if I'm running my code, irrespective the result from the try and catch block, the finally block will always get executed. Whether the exception is found over there or not found over there, finally block will always get executed. So that is the one thing. Also, if I will put some code over here, like let's say I want to do like this, that hello here. So, and if I will run my program, this piece of code will will also get executed because the exception got handled. But as you can see, the exception is coming as it is because we have done e.print stack trace. Instead of doing e.print stack trace, if I do here output as that file not found, file not found. So it will give me this message. If file will get found, then this message will not be delivered, and if file not found, then this message will be delivered. So if I'm running, because file is already missing over here, so I should get this message, right? So if I'm running my code right now, so instead of getting the print e dot stack trace of the exception name, it is giving me the message that file not found, and after that finally block, and then it is giving me the further code that I wanted to execute. So that's how we can handle the checked exceptions, right? The checked exception will get handled like this. There is now another thing, right? Let me take this try catch block out of that, and let me comment this section, this much section, and here there is this piece of code that was throwing the exception. Control C, and I will be taking this here. So now if I hover over here, we know already that there are two options. One is the add throw declaration and another one is the shout with try and catch. So let me take this add throws declaration. If I added this throw declaration, what happened immediately? This started this piece of code, this method, it started freaking out over here. If I hover over here, it is telling me that this method have the exception. What the throws keyword is doing? This throws keyword is telling that whenever you using this test method in another place, right, in any other method or in any other class, you have to handle this you have to handle the exception. So this will tell you, this throws keyword will tell you, it is telling over here also that you need to handle an exception. How can you handle this? If I hover over here, either I need to add throw declaration here the same way, and if I will run my program, the code will get executed the code will get executed, but it will send me the exception. It is sending me the exception. And what happened here, that this piece of code didn't get reach out, because it is this throws keyword is just telling you that the method has the exception, but it is not handling the exception. That is the issue with the throws keyword. That's why most of the time the try catch is a the try catch is a good option to handle the exception before. But when we in the main method, if we are not handling it by using the try and catch, the throws keyword is an alternative, and we have to handle the exception in the same method where we are calling the method with the exception. So here we need to handle it. How we will handle it over here? So what we have to do, we will delete this part. Then we will delete this part, and then if I hover over here, I have to get the second option, sound with try and catch. If I click on that, now what will happen? It is again telling e dot print stack trace, instead of print stack trace. Let's say syso, and here I'm saying file not found. File not found. Let's say 2. I just want to make it different from here. So now if I will run my program, what will happen? What will happen? It is giving me file not found. And because the this try method and this file not found, file not found too. So it is coming from here. But as here, this exception is not handled in this test method. So for this test method, this piece of code will not get executed. How can we find it out here? Let me put one statement here, syso, and I'm saying here, hello main. Hello main. And if I will run my program right now, so the hello main will come from the main method, not from the test, not from the test method. The hello here is not getting print because the exception is getting handled in this main method, not in this test method where the throws keyword will use. So whatever the code over there will not be handled in the main method if you are using the throws keyword over there in the test method. So that is the difference between how we are handling the exceptions by using the try catch block, and how we are declaring the exception by using the throws keyword. So this is the one thing. And another thing, if let's say this is file not found exception. Instead of file not found exception, I am going to take it back, and this piece of code also I am going to take back, and I am leaving there only the test method and this syntax for this. Let me take out all of this piece of code, and we have integer a equals to 15. And once we have integer a is to 15, that says syso, and here I'm saying a divide by 0. A divide by 0. So this is, as I told already, this is the unchecked exception. If I will run this code right now, if I'm running this code right now, you can see I did not handle this, right? I didn't handle this. So what happened? This is the event that is disturbing the normal flow of this code. Actually, if it is not an exception, what should have happened? This piece of code should have get executed. This piece of code should also have get executed. But in actual, what happened after this piece of code? Nothing get executed. You can see here that this is Java lang arithmetic exception. This is just sending the arithmetic exception. Let's copy it from here. So nothing get executed after this. Now, if I want to handle it with try and catch block, what I will be doing? I'll be doing try. I'll be doing here try, and here I am doing catch it here, and like that. So catch what? Catch the arithmetic exception, and let's say represent it with E. And let's take this piece of code from here over here. And we want a message that syso divide by 0 not allowed. Not allowed. So if I will run my program right now, what will happen? Because we have handled this piece of code, this exception by using the try catch block. So now it will be all good. Now it will be all good. All pieces of code, everything will get executed. It is giving the message that divide by zero not allowed, and hello here and hello main. So, though explicitly for this piece of code, we do not need to handle it like that. But even if in some places it is required, we can handle it by using try and catch block. Now, can we use the throws keyword? Is it possible to use the throws keyword for this kind of exception? Let's try that one more thing, and let's take this piece of code from here and let's make it comment here, and let me put this piece of code here. So now, as I know that this is the arithmetic exception, and let me put here as throws keyword, throws keyword here, and I am taking this arithmetic exception because we already know that arithmetic exception not needed to be handled by the throws keyword. We do not need to declare them by using the throws keyword. So what will happen? You can see I'm throwing the exception over here by using this keyword, but here there is no impact. We do not need to, in this method is not going to tell you that you need to handle this throws arithmetic exception here in this test method by throwing this by declaring over here by using the throws keyword in your method signature. If I will run my program right now, what will happen? It will throw the exception. It will throw the exception that is not getting handled. So here the messages there is no message, right? Just the exception is coming and it is telling that it is getting divided by zero. So what we have to do, we have to, this is the logical exception. So what we have to do, we have just to change here, like we can change to any number and it will be all good. If I will run my program right now, then everything will get executed. So we do not need to handle or declare these exception by using try catch or by the throws keyword. These are the unchecked exceptions. So that was the one example for that. And now there is another thing, that how to use what we did so far what we did try catch, how to use try catch and finally keyword. That is all clear by this all of these detailings, and also we learned about the throws keyword, right? Now there is another thing. The another thing is the keyword throw. How to use the keyword throw. So let's say I have the keyword as throw, and how I have to use it. I will use it as throw new, and then the exception name. Let me say, let me take it as arithmetic exception over here. Arithmetic exception. Right. So let's take the example that we have here. And you can see that this is like if age is under this and we are putting a condition, and then we can use this code. So let's take like that only. So I'm saying integer, and let's say age, and age is equal to 15. So what I am going to do, I'm going to say if I'm saying here if, and here, so if age is less than 18, throw an arithmetic exception. Control X from here, and we can throw it here, and then give the message that not kids not allowed. We can say kids or teenage under 18, let's say kids not allowed. So like that, right? So what we have to do, this exception has been thrown explicitly. So by using the keyword through. If I will run my program right now, what will happen? If I'm running it right now, so it is showing the arithmetic exception, and the message over there is that kids not allowed. So now if I change this age, instead of 15, if I change it to, let's say 19, then what will happen? This line, the line number 17, 18 will not matter, and it will say hello here and hello main. Hello here is coming from line number 22, and hello main is coming from the line number 12 when we are calling this test method in our main method. That's how we can handle all the equation, all the exception, and by using the try catch. And finally, by using the throws keyword, we can declare it in our method. And by using the keyword throw, we can just throw it as explicitly, just to tell that there may be some THROW, right? THROW. So we are just throwing the exception by like explicitly over there in the method to tell that there is like some wrong input over there, and that might send the arithmetic exception or another exception. So we just need to tell that. So let's say, can we customize it? Let's see, can we customize it with any other name? So if I'm giving here that, let's say, customized exception, is it allowed? No, it's not allowed, right? We have to give a proper exception. The exception that is possible from there, we have to give the particular name that belongs to that one. Okay, so this is the exception handling and the exceptions in Java. Now let's get back to the next topic. The next topic is, we have covered all this part. Next topic is the flag. What is flag variable, right? So if we talk about the flag variable, let's get back here, and this is the flag variable, right? Flag variable. So what the flag variable is? Flag variable is a Boolean type of variable that will give us either the true value or the false value, and it is used to track a certain condition within the code, like true or false. With the value of this flag, we will be tracking some certain condition. So we can, to the flag we can give some other name also, like is found, is valid, has error, or like this kind of names for this flag instead of this flag variable also can be used. So flag variable are commonly used in the loops and the condition checks, right? So what we have over there, let's get started, and let me create another class over here, and that is the variable flag. That's the variable flag over there. And let's get with the main method, finish. And let's say we have here an integer, and integer is age, and age is, I have given here as 12, right? And I'm saying there is the boolean variable, right? And this is the boolean flag, and the value for the flag is true, right? So the condition, what I'm going to do, if condition, and if age is less than 18, and less than 18, then say flag, right? Then it is just a flag over there. Um, okay, this is not like this, right? We have to put this flag here, right? Yeah. So if flag, then just so kids allowed, kids allowed, and else we can say else, just simply adults, adults not allowed. And here it will be. And let me put this in a sysO statement. Let control X and just say sysO. And we can simply put it here, adults not allowed. So now here, how we using this flag? This flag we are using as a signal over here, that in this situation, if age is under if let's say if, so now what can we do here? Let me put a boolean condition, like if I'm saying here, if age is under 18, right? So let this variable be here, and let this, all of this condition, control X, and let this be inside this. I'm saying if age is under 18, then flag is true, and then if there is a flag, and then kids allowed, otherwise adults not allowed, right? So let me run the program. If I'm running the program right now, you can see that kids allowed, right? This is 18. So the value is working as a signal. So now if I am putting this value as 19 over here, and if I run my program right now, what will happen? The piece of code didn't get executed because this else condition is inside, right? Let me check this. Let me take this out of that, Control X, and I'll put this here. I'll put this here. So let me run the program right now and let's check. Adults not allowed. Adults not allowed. Let me put this back as 12 back over here and let's check if the code is working for this one also. Yes. So here, now what happened? If age is 12, then this is allowed for the kids, and if it is not, then it is not allowed for the kids. We can call the scanner method over here and we can take we can take the user input. Let's call the scanner class scanner, and scanner UI equals to, and we can say new scanner, and we can simply say system.in, right? And we simply can say here UI dot next int. So that is the value, and here this int age, control x from here, and we can put here equals to this. We do not need this 12 anymore, right? And here the very first thing what we want, say so, and what's your age? And here we can say what is your age, right? What's your age? So if I will run this program right now, what will happen? It will take the user input. It will take the user input. Let's say I'm saying 14 and hit enter over here. So kids allowed. And again, if I will run my program, what is your age? And if I'm saying I'm 18 and hit enter, then adults not allowed. So that's how the flag, this boolean flag variable will work as a signal or to check a condition over there, and that's how we can use it. Now next is the counter variable. Let me create a class as variable counter. So let's create the main method and finish it. And now let's go back to the slides. Okay. So here, now what's there? I have given some important detailing about the counter variable, and let's get to that one like this. A counter is a variable used to keep track for how many numbers of times a specific event has occurred. If you want to check how many times a particular event has occurred, then we will use the counter variable. Also, commonly used in loops to control the number of iteration or to track the growth of the process. How does it work? Very first thing, the initialization. Initialization will depend on the requirement. We initialize the counter at either 0 or 1. Generally, we choose the 0. And then increment. Increment generally we use by increase by 1, like count plus plus, or we can say the counter plus plus, or counter equals to counter plus 1, like that. So by 1, based on the condition only. And then the condition check. Until the condition keep matching for the counter increment, the loop will continue. Once condition satisfied, the loop will terminate. That's how we use the counter. And now let's get started and we will check how it will going to work. So we already created a variable counter. Let's say I have a string. And in this string, the string is str equals to, I have a word as hello, right? And I want to check how many times of uh, this letter L is getting repeated over there. So what I'm going to do, I will use two for loops over there, one inside the other, right? I'm going to use this for loop over here again, and there will be two for loop, one inside the other. And I have one iteration increment over here for I, and I want to start I at 0, and then I do have I is less than str dot length, right? Str dot length, and then I plus plus, right? Then further over here, I have another variable integer j and starting at 0. And here also I have j is smaller than str dot length. And then what I want j plus plus, right? Now further, what I want if condition, if str dot char at I, let's say double equals to str dot char at j, then I want some condition change. So now how I will be using this counter? This counter variable I will start here as integer, and let's say it is a counter, and now I'm saying that counter is starting at 0, right? So once there is a match of char at I equals to char at j, means I am comparing this hello to the another hello word with the same hello word, and I'm checking that if this L is getting repeated. If I'm comparing these two letters to each other, then what I want, if the condition become true, then I want my counter to be equal to counter plus 1, right? Either I can represent it like that, or I simply can say counter plus plus, right? So if this condition will become true, what the next condition is, what the next condition over there will be. If this is true, then if after that, if counter is more than 1, then siso this str charted dot I. That's right. That's all. Right? After that, what will happen? Once this thing happened, what I want before this for loop, right? This is the for loop over here. So this is ending here. Before this for loop, I want my counter to get set back to 0. To get set back to 0. Once once it is 0, then it got increased by 0, 0. Then it got increased by plus 1. And then if it is more than one time repeating, then I want it to be set back at 0 before it go back to the for loop. So that is the condition. And here where it is ending here, and I want to go out of this for loop, right? I will be putting this here, because after this for loop, after this for loop will decide whether the counter is going to be more than 1 or not. So this is the situation, right? Now if I will run my program, str char, wait a second, str char at I. Oh, I put it this in double quotation. I'm just simply putting it like that, right? So if I will run my program right now, what will happen? So it is giving me LL. So this is telling me that this L is getting repeated. But how many times is it getting repeated? How many times is it getting repeated? For that, what I have to do, I will simply put the counter value here. What can I do? I just simply can say counter plus, and I need to do the concatenation. So plus here, and for the concatenation is simple. We can use it like that also. If I will run the program, it will simply tell me that L is repeating 2 times. So right now here, as it is repeating, the result is repeating itself by twice. So for that, I have make a video, and I have given the link of that video in the description of this class 9. Then you can check it, that how to resolve this issue when the result is getting repeated. How can we use the hash map or linked hash map over there to get the one particular result for the duplicate character. So but here this the purpose of this explanation over here was how we are going to use the variable counter, how we are initializing it, how we are doing the increments, how we are putting the condition for more than one, more than two, or whatever is the requirement of our code, and then how we are setting it back to the zero. So that was all about the counter variable. Now the next topic over here is the matrix calcs. So let's get started with the matrix calculation over here. Let me delete this. So let's say I have a number as 2. For the matrix calculation, I'll be talking like 1, 2. And if I want to matrix, like someone gave me the number 2 and they want me to create the matrix as for this number 2. So how will the matrix will come? It will come as 1, 2 and 1. Here it will be 2 and 2 into 2 will be 4 here. So this will be a 4 number matrix. Latest two directional, left to right and top to down. So again after that, if somebody gave me the number 3 and want the matrix for this one, how I will be having it? I will be having it like 1, 2, 3 and again 2, 3 here, and again here the value will go as 2 into 2 as 4 and 2 into 3 as 6 and 3 into 2 over here as 6 and 3 into 3 here as 9. So this will be the matrix for the number 3. So that matrix we have to create in our Eclipse now. So how to do that? Let's get started. And if I click here and I am going to create another class, and that will be the matrix calcs, matrix calcs, or let's say matrix calcs only, and then main method and then publish, right? So how we are going to do? Let's say the integer value, the value that has been given already is, int a is given as what? As 4, as 3. Let's start with the lesson number, right? So how are we going to do it? We will be using for loop, right? We using for loop and one for loop inside the other one. Let's get started with this. And here what we have the integer I that we want to start at 0. We'll go here. Int I that we want to start at 0, and in the over here, no, not with 0, because we are doing with the matrix calculation, though it will start with a number 1, right? So let's start with number 1. And then what we have here is we will have I is less than, right? We will have less than or equal to A, right? Less than or equal to A, and then we have I plus plus, right? After that we have integer J that also will be start at the same number as I is going to start, and it will also be the same value like J is less than or equal to A, and then J plus plus, J plus plus. So how we are going to do this? How we are going to do this over here, that let's say I want a print, let's say so, and I want to print as, we are going to do the multiplication, that like I multiply with J, right? I multiply with J. Let me run the code right now and add this situation. If I'm running it, it is giving me all the multiplication. You can see 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 6, 3, 6, 9. All the values has been given over here. But what we want it to be printed in the in a tabular form, right? In a tabular form. For getting the tabular form, we have to use this. We have to concatenate it, and we have to use this backslash and T over there. If we will use it like this, it will give us in the tabular form. And also what we have to do, before doing that, let me do one more thing. Let me control X over here, and let me take, because this is the only top to bottom, we want left to right also, right? Instead of that, if I'm doing here print only instead of print ln, and I will run my program, what will happen? Everything will come left to right. So let me do it. Let me do the further thing. if I do here after this, after this for loop, if I put a one sys without any value and just print, right? And now if I will run my program, what will happen? It will take all the values in the form of matrix calcs like 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 6, 3, 6, 9. You can see here, if I go here 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 6, 3, 6, 9. But it is not in a tabular form, right? What we have to do for that? I will just simply put this tab over there, and once I put this tab over there, it will go in a tabular form. So right now, if you put any digit, any number over here, like 9 over there, and if you run this code like this, it will give you the matrix for the biggest number like 9 over there. Also, if you want to do more like this, and you can put yeah, you can put let me check with if we can do double like this, and can we have the space double, can we do the double spacing? So you can have the double spacing. That's how you will get the good presentation for the this matrix by using this tabular syntax over there. So that was all about the today's class, and we have covered everything. We have learned about the exceptions and how to handle the exception. We have learned about the variable flag, variable counter, and the matrix calcs. I hope this class is helpful. In the next class, we will do the file handling. We will learn about the file handling, and I will try to upload it as soon as possible. And thank you very much guys for subscribing, and thank you very much for like, share, and also subscribing my channel, and have a good day. Thank you very much.